Rammus seems like the type of person to grab someone's hand and slap them across the face with it. You know, like that kind of thing where you grab their hand and you hit himself and you're like, stop hitting yourself, stop hitting yourself. Ha ha ha, classic. You know, just Rammus things. So why would you want to play this lunchtime playground bully as a support? Right now, he's the #1 jungler, so why wouldn't you want to play him anywhere? He is extremely tanky, counters basically any ADC or attack damage carrier, anyone that has auto attack focus, really. Plus, poking you equals poking themselves. However, there are some downsides. He is generally weak early game, easily poked, even though they're poking themselves, low damage, and he really just relies on his teammates for all that damage. Alright, well let's get into those abilities, even though they're going to be extremely simple. His passive is Spike Shield. It seems really wrong to name it that, because all it does is really enhance your auto attacks to deal magic damage. It is based on your armor, so I guess it works. His Q is Human Teeth Sonic. Rammus spins, ramping up his speed. Once the duration of the spin is over, he immediately goes back to his normal movement speed. If you do hit someone before the spinning ends, you deal damage, knock them up slightly, and slow them for 1 second afterwards. His W is Stop Hitting Yourself. This is basically where all his damage comes from. This gains him a lot of armor and magic resist, deals damage back to the enemy that if they auto you. The duration is extended when you give the enemy a good poke with your head spike, and this also increases the magic damage from your passive. His E is Taunt. That's really it. This forces the enemy to auto attack you, hopefully hurting themselves in the process with your W being up. I couldn't come up with something clever for this one, so we'll just call it Soaring Slam. Rammus will jump in the air, then slam down. There are a few shockwaves after the location, and you deal damage to anyone in range. The range of the ability is increased based on your movement speed. If you are in your power ball, you can cast this, jump a bit further, slam into the ground, and it actually knocks enemies up and deals your power ball damage. Alright, that's it for Mr. Schoolyard Bully's abilities. Let's take a look at those runes. I think you might have guessed this at this point, but we're going Shrek Tree for even more tankiness. Almost everything we want to do is based on CC, so we're taking Aftershock for that extra survivability. Then we're going Font of Life, Conditioning, and Unflinching. Then I like to go Sorcerer Tree for that extra movement speed runes, like these two, but just like I always say, feel free to mix it up. You do you. Now, items. I'm sure this isn't going to be surprising, so let's just do it quick. We're going to need all the help we can get early game, so you're going to rush that Thorn Mail. After that, pick up Boots for whatever matchup you have. I'm not afraid to say I was wrong when I was playing these games, because I was picking Jock Show, and although it is good, it is very expensive. Even Sean is honestly a more cost-effective option, so I would probably go with that. From there, just pick any tank items you desire. Shocking build, I know. Now, his gameplay is pretty straightforward, so we're not really going to go into combos. We did it! We're in the game. Because of our support, we're going to take this shield and some mixed drinks to make sure we're staying healthy. If you're liking this video so far, please like, comment, and subscribe. It really does help me keeping this channel going. I'm not going to lie to you, the early levels are rough. I would recommend taking your W first, as it lets you proc your support item while still kind of doing what you want to do, which is have the enemy attack you. And they will. Just try and play safe at least until level 3, because before that, you really don't do much. The wave will or should be pushing towards you, since the enemy will most likely have lane priority. If you are level 2 or 3 and the enemy walks a little too far under your tower, you always have the option to flash taunt them so they take that turret aggro. From there, they'll probably take 2 turret shots or possibly use their own flash, which is good for you anyway. Because once the enemy is flashes and they're pushed in, you have them right where you want them. Your jungler should be able to come in for easy ganks while they're trying to push up and Krause your tower, or at least until you hit level 6, as once you hit that point, it's time to get those Sonic Teeth to work. Now that you have your ultimate, it's time to start using that paired with your Q to show some long range engages. Landing this paired with your ally follow-up and taunt W combo should secure you a kill, or at least push them back or make them flash again. Now, if something like that happens and they have to back, you are typically a ganking jungler, so feel free to roam up to the mid lane for a gank. Just activate your Q once you're at the dragon pit, and then once you get to the mid lane, you'll be at full speed, ready to go in, taunt W combo them. And if you do get a kill on the bot lane or the mid lane, that should set you up for an early dragon. Now that you beat up the dragon and took his lunch money, it's time for the whole rift to be your schoolyard. Just push the enemy on the ground. If the teacher comes down, just pretend nothing happened and spin your happy Sonic self back to your tower. Sasuga Gaming does not condone bullying in any way, shape, or form. Then once the teacher's gone, they think they might be tough and they'll try and poke you while you secure your support item procs. Fine, that's what you wanted to do anyway. However, if you do get a kill, just push the lane, head back if you need to, or try and finish your Thorn Mail as soon as possible. Sorry to say, but sometimes that still isn't enough, and your tower will go down first since your early game is quite weak. However, that's fine, because you're going to be scaling, baby! And just think about it. If they have more damage, then you have more damage. It's a good thing. And just don't worry about it. You're a spiky earthquake armadillo monster. These towers will go down eventually. Now let's take a look at that mid-game. Now, once we get to this point and you have about 2 or 3 items, this is when you're going to be at your strongest. So you're going to want to try and be with your team. You are the front line, and nothing really is going to change that. You're a good engaged support, but if there is another one on your team, you can try and sit back and protect your ADC by calling the enemy dirty names like Poo-Poo Head, but it's still better to just be in the fight and call the enemy ADC a pee-pee monster. The more people attack you, the more difference you're going to make. Dying is just part of being Rammus. regardless if they kill you or not, and if you took them out of the fight, then you did your job, because you just existed. Now, during these fights, you're going to be pretty reliant on your team to be dealing most of the damage, so just do your job and be a menace to those auto-attacking champions. We did it! We won the game, and if you like this video, check out the almighty Naruto cosplaying league champion Zed. Talk to you later!